Hello everybody. Today, I'd like to share something that is very important to me, the journey of speaking English. English truly transformed my life. It created new opportunities, allowed me to form new friendships, and encouraged me to dream on a larger scale. In the beginning, I was frightened. My vocabulary was limited and my accent was distinct, but I persisted. I learned gradually, similar to how a baby learns to walk. I stumbled frequently, but I always stood back up. I understand that some of you might feel this way. Perhaps you feel hesitant to speak, fear errors, or are concerned about being judged. However, keep in mind that making mistakes is an essential component of learning. Without trying, we can never advance. Speaking English is comparable to learning how to swim. Initially, the water appears deep and you might be afraid to dive in, but after you take that initial plunge, you begin to gain confidence. With increased practice, you become more at ease. One of the most effective methods to learn is through listening. When you listen to English, your ears become familiar with the sounds. You hear correct pronunciation and absorb new expressions almost unconsciously. It's similar to listening to music. The more you listen, the more you comprehend. Another strategy to enhance your speaking is to practice with friends or even on your own. I sometimes speak English to myself. It might seem foolish, but it is beneficial. You can simulate a conversation. Pose questions to yourself and then answer them. The more you speak, the more skilled you become. And don't be concerned if your vocabulary is small. You don't require complex words to communicate effectively. Simple words are sufficient. Concentrate on expressing your thoughts, even if it's not flawless. People will understand you, and gradually, your vocabulary will expand. When I was learning, I often worried about people laughing at me. But I came to the realization that if I didn't speak, I would never get better. So, I spoke regardless. And you know what? The majority of people were supportive. They didn't laugh, they assisted me. Therefore, if you're anxious, that's fine. It's a natural feeling. But don't allow it to hinder you. Take a deep breath, smile, and begin speaking. The more you do it, the simpler it will get. Another technique that benefited me was reading aloud. When you read, your brain becomes accustomed to seeing and verbalizing words. It's like a workout for your muscles. The more you exercise them, the stronger they become. Additionally, never hesitate to seek assistance. If you are unsure how to say something, it's perfectly acceptable to ask. Everyone needs help occasionally, and asking questions is a fundamental part of learning. One final point I wish to make is this: have faith in yourself. If you believe I can't do this, it will be difficult. But if you affirm, I can learn this, you will notice improvement. English is not difficult if you approach it step by step. Imagine you are climbing a mountain. You don't get to the summit in one giant leap. You take one small step, then another, and another. Soon enough, you have reached the peak. It is the same with learning to speak English. So, I urge all of you to begin today. Speak English as frequently as possible. Don't worry about errors. Don't worry about perfection. Just speak. Ultimately, learning English is like planting a tree. You nourish it daily and it grows slowly, but one day you will see that it has become tall and sturdy. You will feel a sense of pride for persevering. Remember, the speed of your learning is not what's most important. What matters is that you never cease trying. So continue, keep speaking, and one day you will be able to declare, "I did it." I recall my first attempt at a full conversation in English. My heart was pounding, my hands were sweaty, and my voice was trembling. I was terrified of making an error, but I did it anyway. I spoke, and even though I made mistakes, I felt proud because I had tried. You see, speaking English isn't about perfection. It's about courage. Each time you speak, you are moving closer to improvement. It's like a muscle. If you don't use it, it remains weak. But the more you speak, the stronger your English becomes. When I started, I watched English movies and TV shows. At first, I understood very little, but I continued. I observed how people spoke, how they used gestures, facial expressions, and their tone of voice. It showed me that speaking English isn't solely about words, it's also about emotion. If you want to connect with people, don't be afraid to show your feelings when you talk. Smile when you're happy, frown when you're confused, and use your hands to express yourself. Language is more than words, it's how you communicate your heart. Sometimes during your learning, you may feel stagnant. You might think, "I've been studying for so long, but I'm not getting any better." This is normal. Learning a language is like climbing a hill. Sometimes you progress quickly, and other times it feels slow. But even when it feels slow, remember that you are still advancing. Don't quit, even when it's difficult. Setting small goals was a great help to me. I didn't try to be perfect in one day. Instead, I set small, daily objectives. One day, I would concentrate on learning new vocabulary. The next, I would focus on pronunciation. Little by little, I improved. And don't forget to acknowledge your progress. When you learn a new word or have a conversation in English, take a moment to feel proud. Every small step is an accomplishment. Learning English is a journey, and every step brings you nearer to your destination. I also discovered that keeping a journal in English was very helpful. Every night before bed, I would write about my day in simple English. It helped me practice thinking in English, and over time, I saw my sentences improving. You don't need to write a lot, even a sentence or two each day can make a difference. When you're practicing speaking, try to think in English as well. At first, you might mentally translate from your native language, but try to move beyond that. Think in English as much as you can. It's like learning to dance. Initially, you must think about every step, but with practice, it becomes instinctive. Another thing that helped me was finding friends who also wanted to practice English. We would meet for coffee and speak only English. At first, it was uncomfortable because none of us were fluent, but it soon became enjoyable. We learned together and laughed about our mistakes. You can do the same. Find a friend or a group and practice speaking together. You might also feel nervous about speaking with native English speakers. I know I was. But most people are kind and patient. They don't expect you to be perfect. They understand you are learning. So don't be afraid to talk to them. If you make a mistake, they might correct you, and that's a positive thing. Every correction is a new learning opportunity. There will be days when you feel frustrated. There will be times when you want to quit. But I want you to remember something very important. you are stronger than you think. You have already taken the first step by wanting to learn, and that requires bravery. And here's the wonderful part, no matter your origin or background, English can connect you to the world. It's like a bridge that unites people. When you speak English, you can travel, meet new people, and learn about different cultures. It is a key that unlocks many doors. So when you feel like giving up, remember your reason for starting. Think about the opportunities that learning English will bring into your life. Picture your future self speaking English confidently, making new friends, and achieving your dreams. Hold on to that vision. Let it motivate you to move forward. And always remember to be gentle with yourself. Learning a language is not easy, and you are doing a fantastic job. If you make a mistake, don't be harsh on yourself. Instead, say, I am learning, and I am improving every day. There will be moments that surprise you. You might suddenly understand a full conversation or say something without overthinking it. These are the moments when you see how much progress you've made. And those moments will keep occurring as long as you keep trying. As I stand here today speaking to you in English, I want you to know that I was once exactly where you are. I was scared. I made mistakes, and I wanted to quit, but I didn't. And if I can learn to speak English, you can too. The journey may be long, but it is worth every step. Because with every word you learn and every sentence you speak, you are building a brighter future for yourself. I remember the day I realized that learning English was not just about understanding words but about connecting with people. I was in a park when a tourist approached me and asked for directions in English. For the first time, I didn't hesitate. I spoke with confidence. Even though my English wasn't perfect, the smile on their face when they understood me felt magical. That's when I knew that English is a powerful tool for bringing people together. Learning English has taught me more than just a language. It has taught me patience, resilience, and the importance of perseverance. Every word, every sentence is a small victory. And every time you speak, no matter how brief the conversation, you are winning. One thing that really helped me was integrating English into my daily life. I didn't wait for a classroom or a special event to practice. I used English everywhere. I would describe what I saw while walking down the street, or I would think in English while doing simple chores like cooking or cleaning. These small moments of practice accumulate over time. I also found talking to myself in English to be very useful. I would pretend to have conversations with people. Sometimes I would even act out a scene from a movie or TV show just to practice speaking out loud. It might sound silly, but it made me feel more comfortable with the language. The more I talked to myself, the more natural English felt. And here's something I learned that might surprise you: it's okay not to know everything. You don't need to know every word in the dictionary to speak English. Sometimes, simple words are enough. What's important is that you can express your ideas and feelings. Even if you don't know the ideal word, there is always a way to communicate. English, like any language, is about sharing your heart and mind with others. Another thing I want to share is the importance of celebrating every small success. I remember the first time I ordered food in English at a restaurant. It was a minor thing, but I felt incredibly proud. Celebrate moments like these. Did you have a conversation in English today? That's wonderful. Did you learn a new word? That's progress. Every step you take is a step toward your goal. And when you make a mistake, don't be disheartened. In fact, I want you to celebrate your mistakes. Why? Because mistakes are evidence that you are trying. Each mistake is a lesson, a chance to learn something new. I used to feel ashamed when I made errors, but now I view them as opportunities for growth. You are not alone on this journey. Millions of people around the world are learning English, just like you. Many of them feel the same, nervous, uncertain, and afraid of making mistakes. But remember, we are all learners, and learning is a lifelong process. Even native English speakers learn new things about their language every day. If you ever feel stuck or feel you're not improving quickly enough, take a deep breath and remind yourself that learning is a journey, not a race. Some days you'll make significant leaps, and other days you'll take tiny steps. Both are important. Both bring you closer to your goal. Another crucial point I want to discuss is confidence. Confidence doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from believing in yourself and being willing to try. When you speak English, speak with confidence. Even if you're uncertain of your words, people will respond to your energy, and that's what counts. Confidence is built over time, and the more you practice, the stronger it becomes. Don't be afraid to practice with native speakers, even if you believe your English isn't good enough. Most people are kind and delighted to help. In fact, many native speakers respect those who are learning a new language because they understand how difficult it is. When I spoke to native speakers, I was nervous initially, but I quickly learned that they valued my effort, and many even helped me improve. Try to immerse yourself in English as much as possible. Listen to English music. Watch English movies. Read English books or articles. The more you expose yourself to the language, the more natural it will feel. And don't worry if you don't understand everything at first. Over time, your brain will recognize patterns, and things will start to make more sense. Learning English can also be fun. You can play games in English, sing along to songs, or join online groups where people from all over the world practice English together. There are so many ways to make learning enjoyable. The key is to find what works best for you and to remain consistent. And one more thing, be kind to yourself. Learning a new language is one of the bravest things you can do. It's not easy, and it takes time, but every day you spend learning is a step forward. You might not see progress immediately, but it is happening. You are getting better every single day. Finally, remember why you are learning English. Whether it's for your career, to travel, to meet new people, or simply to challenge yourself, hold on to that reason. Let it guide you and keep you motivated. When the journey feels long, remind yourself of the doors that will open once you've mastered the language. I want to leave you with one final thought. English is more than just words. It's a bridge to new experiences, new friendships, and new opportunities. When you speak English, you are not just learning a language, you are stepping into a bigger world, a world full of possibilities. So keep speaking, keep learning, and never give up on yourself. One day, you will look back on this moment and realize how far you've come. And on that day, you will smile and say, "I did it." Thank you for listening.